Makadi muri Zimbabwe kusangana zvekare pano pachivhiti-vhiti chenyu patinenge tichikupa nyaya dzinenge dzichipisa zuva nezuva. Tava takakubatira nyaya dziri kupisa mastreets esocial media dzatinoda kuti muzive tikuzivisei chokwadi. Mamiriro akaita nyaya ndofunga muri kuziva kuti ZANU-PF yakabuditsa mari yakawandisa ichikampena opposition yakanyarara vachiita 2030 yavo vachibhadhara vanhu vachipa vanhu mamota. Vange vasina tarisiro yekuti opposition ine vanhu vachazongomuka vachiramba nyaya dze2030 panguva yavanenge vachifungidzira kuti vakuda kulonja chinhu chavo, vakuda kuchinja constitution. Ndo pari kutangira hondo. Saka muri Zimbabwe inini ndakabata chandakabata pano. Chandoda kuti muteerere muzotudzodzwa munofunga. Handina kwandiri kusvitsa kwakareba but ndinoda kuti muteerere zviri kutaurwa panapa. Panapa pane nyaya iri kutaurwa patotora dzakawanda. Saka ndinoda kuti muteerere.
They can even perish because ZANU yakabudisa mari yakawanda. These guys, they are confronting and wounded elephant. And the ZANU-PF was not even expecting because exchange the hand for this plurality and this silence.
All right, Elisha. So, Elisha, what happens is that's the reason why we are having a discussion. The reason we are having a discussion means that we can't have just one position. Others will also come with their positions, others with their positions, and that's the reason. That is what makes us open-minded, and that is what makes us people who can be able to talk with each other. So I hear the strength of your voice as you're speaking now, that you are pushing back also on other points that others are making. However, the question now, Elisha, is for you as an individual Zimbabwean, what is it that you got from the message of yesterday from the honorables? What did you get from the opposition leaders who spoke yesterday? What is the message that you can run with, which they gave you yesterday, which is different from the message that they have given since 1999, different from the message given by Comrade Bombshell? What would you say? Just briefly before I move to the next speaker, Reinhardt. It's going to be, I'll try Makwikwi to see if he's there before I go to Reinhardt, because Makwikwi has been hanging on for quite a bit. So, Elisha.
What about
Brother Best, you came after Reinhardt. Don't worry, I'll be coming to you. Don't worry, be patient, my friend. Right, okay. Elisha, what is the message that you got from the leaders of the opposition yesterday? How does that message that they gave yesterday differ from the message of since 1999 and the message of Comrade Bombshell Gaza?
No, thank you very much. I think my takeaway from the yesterday's submissions of these honorables was that they made it very clear that they've managed to come together after some narrow differences that they find themselves in. So I think that it's a great that they've appreciated and realized that they have been sidelining each other because of narrow differences. And they have to admit that that is a starting point, which is very positive, which some of these guys, of Chamisa's guys, they are against it. Because they wanted to have this animosity, to have this perpetuity among these leaders. Now these guys, they've admitted, said that we have got our own differences, but they were so narrow. But now we have come together, and we still say that, they insist to say that we still need more people to come. So the coming in of more people, it means the refinement of the way forward and having a, whether it is a script or what, in standing point, whatever. So I think that's a good welcome that these guys, they're opening up this issue for everyone. This issue is not for job scholar. They made it very clear. This issue should not come as a job scholar issue or this issue or the biggest issue. They said that this issue is a national issue. So everyone is being welcomed. And they made it very clear to say that this is not a partisan issue. This is a national agenda. So I think it's a very clear position, which is different from the yesterday positions.
Can I just add what Elisha has said? Kuti, it shows kuti ndiyo movement chayo yema citizens. Kwete vanhu vanongoshandisa mazita achiti ndikuvhura movement. Iye achizoti ada kupinda political agenda.
All right, let's move with the speakers. Welcome to the space. Welcome to the space. It is Makwikwi. Elisha? Yes.
Just 20 seconds. Just 20 seconds. Who was voted by more than 2 million people is nowhere to be seen. He's silent.
He only talks when Geza talks about Kudak Tagwire, and then he says he's not part of it.
Just imagine.
All right, guys. All right. Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, I understand. Sister Temptations. Okay. All right, that's fine. All right. So
Just
let's
love
move
to talk about me, don't you?
Okay, guys. All right. Let's go to Makwikwi. Makwikwi, welcome to the space. Pick it up. Go ahead. Makwikwi, are you there? Oh, Makwikwi, what is wrong now with your network? We want you to speak. We want to hear from you. Makwikwi is not able to speak, so I have to move now to Reinhardt, then I go to Best. Reinhardt, welcome to the space. So, Reinhardt, we can argue and make a number of people who believe that, Advocate Nelson Chamisa remains very relevant to the political scenario in Zimbabwe. In fact, he himself said he has resigned from the Citizen Coalition for Change, but he has not resigned from politics. So whatever he is doing right now, he is doing politics. So when he's quiet, he's doing politics. President Edi Mnangagwa is also doing politics. Look, there are people who are talking about the 2030 agenda and things like that. President Mnangagwa has been quiet. He has not been talking about the 2030. He himself. It is Job. Who is that guy? The Minister of Justice. Zambi, and the other Minister of Local Government. Those are the guys that are talking about the 2030. You see, Garwe. Those are the guys that are talking about. The 2030. But then the issue is he has not been talking actually. So he is doing politics. So those who spoke yesterday, Reinhardt, were also speaking politics. But that politics which they spoke about yesterday, is it the politics that the people have been waiting for? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mkomahulu. Hot seat, how are you? And everybody on the panel and people on the listening. Ulu, do you know that, being silent, is a very big way of actually speaking out loud. Do you know that? Hey?
I agree, Reinhardt. I agree. Go ahead.
Exactly. When Mnangagwa is quiet and when his people are speaking, to me, it's an acknowledgement that 2030, he is in line with it and he wants it. The fact that he's not speaking doesn't mean that he's not speaking. He's speaking actually. Because already there are people who are actually outsourcing their thinking towards whatever was proposed by the man in power who's actually at the top there, whom we think that he is actually silent, yet he's not silent. He's actually gravitating towards it, because if he was a leader and we didn't want this thing, he would have told them long time ago, shh, keep quiet about this thing. I don't want to hear about it. I'm going home to rest. But unfortunately, in that silence, he's actually saying very big vocabulary there that he wants to achieve whatever it is that he intends to achieve in his lifetime before he leaves that seat. So Mnangagwa is not silent. Mnangagwa is actually the loudest one in the country. And henceforth, that is why we're actually having a bone of contention with these guys who came to speak yesterday, Nelson Chamisa, what. Let me say this. I don't know whether to call it an adage or whatever, whether it's a poem or whatever. There's this statement which says, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Do you know it, eh? I think you've heard about it. We have got strong men in the likes of the Mnangagwas. If we look at even at the history of the opposition, we had strong men like Morgan Changirai. And we have got even other strong men who are still existent up to now, which is now maybe these guys who are actually coming now to us now and say, listen, we need this. But if we want to look at it generationally to say, okay, these strong men, how do they come to be strong? We look at them and say, is the history. They were born during that time. It was within that era that they were born. And probably these other ones who came that don't actually understand what is supposed to be called civic duty as a people. So the strong men are saying, no. The moment you want to defecate on the constitution, no. We are not going to stand for that. That's a civic duty, irrespective of which party you are affiliated to, irrespective of whatever Hulu wants or whatever another party person wants, because this thing belongs to us, the people. This is where actually, the people of Zimbabwe have been taken for 45 years because, they don't have control of that constitution, actually. It's actually controlled by a few, and hence, I was responding to Father Emery when I said, no, lawyers have taken us too much for a ride for 45 years. Probably if you go to to the archives, dealing only with the constitution compared to anything in the progressive, maybe economically or whatever aspect. It's very small. The paper is probably dealing with the constitution and these things of power from independence until now. I'm telling you, probably it's rose. They are rose. And if you look at it, us, even the people of Zimbabwe, there's one thing that we all gravitate towards. We all like to go to law school. I don't know, it's like a disease. If you want to go into politics, it's like you have to go into law school, and then we lose common sense and logic somewhere, somehow.
So, Reinhardt, if you were going
Yeah.
to give advice to the opposition, look, yesterday they spoke. They told us that they are united in their speaking. But clearly we know that there is no structure that has been put in place where we can say here
people,
is a structure, Reinhardt.
no.
So I want to find out from you, since these are people who have known each other since 1999, what makes it hard for them to come up with a structure where they say, look, we have resolved that we are united and we have a name and we call each other in this manner and we shall speak with one voice? Why do they need to speak in the manner they speak like now, and at the same time expect those who are individuals in Zimbabwe to unite with them when they have not yet united, among themselves? That is something that people are asking. That is something that people might observe. What do you say about that?
No, we must understand probably, to say most of the opposition that has been in existence actually has ended up mirroring ZANU-PF, becoming more like ZANU-PF actually.
There is no leadership. There's no leadership, Uncle. Tell the truth. There's no leadership.
Man, let me speak, man. Stop that. I'm not actually speaking to please you. I'm speaking a point. It's not about to please you. This is not about pleasing you. I'm talking about what I see, not what you actually think. You see? So I was saying, okay, these people, they mirror the ruling party, right? This is what is actually now come to be the thing, because if you look at the opposition and the imposition of candidates, whatever people are talking about here, it ended up becoming it actually exhibited a leadership of a weak man. Because the strong people who could actually take whatever, you see, the likes of the Sakalas, okay, he has taken some strong men aspects which have actually been inflicted on him here and there. But to be quiet when you're a leader, it's not something that people look up to. So in terms of that and the other things like having something that ZANU-PF capitalized on, in terms of weakening the position of the opposition also should.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.